Ladies and gents, well, another month has ended. May 2024 is over. We are now a couple days into the month of June, and I just want to give you a little update on where the dust has settled and where we're currently at in the lot. Now, you might notice that this truck I am pulling up front because I have an appointment coming in on it later today. Hasn't really been driven since the winter, so we're gonna clean it up, make sure everything looks good, and have it right over here ready to go for when my customer comes in tonight around 6:30. What you want to do with a plow blade when it's parked, you always want to set your blade down. This way it's the weight of it is on the ground and not just dangling. I'm going to take all the plastic off everything in here, make sure it looks good, kind of clean up the front because it's a little dusty. You know, we got some stuff from the trees we'll clean out and everything. But ultimately a very nice truck, 2500 HD work truck with the Western contractor grade Pro Plus plow setup. Each year we outfit usually 2 trucks with a plow setup. We use them on our lot during the winter as needed, which isn't really all that much in recent years. And then about now, usually like by May and June is when somebody will buy them. Generally they'll buy it as a work truck and they'll take the plow off obviously, but they'll have it for the winter months when they need it. They're also getting a good deal on the truck because they're buying it really in the off season. You know, you're buying a plow truck in the summer versus a plow truck in the winter. It's two completely different things when it comes to the price. I'll be sure to drive the truck and make sure we get all that water out of it that kind of built up from the last rainstorm that we had. Again, I just want to take all the plastics off, you know, make it look as presentable as possible. Generally, we keep them covered as much as we can while we're using them just to protect, you know, the interior and everything as much as we can. But no need to worry about that now since the season's over and someone's coming down to look at it. That'll pretty much do. Getting back to May of 2024, we here at Schumacher Chevrolet of Livingston did 71 units. That's combined new and pre-owned. We did hit 105% of our new car goal, which was good enough to beat out the other 4 Schumacher stores. So that's always a plus to be on the top of one of the boards. You know, one of the many different things that are tracked and looked at. So to be at 105%, come in first place, we're happy about that. Left on the lot, we have 50 units in stock. You know, we got 1 Colorado, we got a handful of Silverados, we have 1 Traverse because this one here is sold. We have a handful of the Chevy Trax. You know, just a nice little selection of the stuff that we normally sell. You know, we're an SUV crossover type dealer. We do have 2 Blazer EVs. We sold, I believe, 7 of them last month. 4 of them being employees. So, you know, everyone taking advantage of that lease deal, which, by the way, that lease deal last month, in our region, there was a $3,250 incentive on the lease. That rebate is not there for the month of June. So those lease payments just went up like 90 bucks. So basically with new cars, it's sort of the same story, right? The vehicles come in, we sell them, they roll back out. What's impressive this month, and as you look at my used car lot, it looks relatively empty. You know, sort of like it has, you know, we've been running a little lean, so it's been sort of empty since the COVID days. We're a few years into this now. We're only showing for 13 used cars on the front line here, but we have 44 used vehicles in stock, which means we took in a ton of trades last month, and that's what I want to show you in this video. We're going to go through some of those and one very specific Ford that personally I want to take a look at. Now, once we take in a trade or we buy a vehicle off lease, we'll do an assessment to see, are we keeping the vehicle here, right? So it goes through the service department. We look at body condition. Does it need any kind of body work? It gets fully detailed. It's priced, it's put online. So for instance, these are now frontline ready. We just need to take photos of them. We got a 2008 Lexus here, which I don't even know what model this is. It is an ES350, 12,577. Wow, that's only has 14,000 miles on it. Oh, someone's gonna buy this real fast. I also have a 2021 Equinox here. We have a 2021 Traverse. You know, so pretty much the same type of stuff like we always sell. This is one of our off loaner vehicles. So this is a service loaner. I have somebody coming to look at this hopefully today. They wanted to see it in person. Numbers already worked out. It should be a deal. We also have here a 2021 Cadillac XT5. So these are vehicles that have been through the process. They're going to go on the front line once we get photos of them and you know, pictured online. They're ready for sale, you know. So those are the ones that are done. Over here on this part of the lot is where we park them while they're waiting to go through that process. So here we got a Trailblazer, we have an Equinox, we have another Equinox, this one's an RS, we have another Equinox, a blue LT. You know, so all these vehicles will go through the process. This Traverse is actually being looked at by one of our technicians right now. That one looks like it was just detailed. Probably just has to, actually, I'm sorry, it looks like it was through the shop. It just has to be detailed. We have a Tahoe and a Suburban. This is a very nice Suburban. This is a black on black Suburban LT luxury package, 20-inch wheels with a sunroof, 68,000 miles, and it has a second row bucket seats. This is a sought after vehicle that we will probably end up selling through some sort of a livery company. Generally, that's what they look for. They look for black on black in this exact package. So that's a good trade to have. We have this super nice Trailblazer RS, 31,000 miles on this. I actually sold this customer their new version of the same exact vehicle. So same color, same equipment, same everything. This was a lease that was ending. They dropped it off. They went into a new lease, same exact model. But of all the trades and all the vehicles that came in last month, this one stands out to me as the one that I really want to take a look at. Now, this is something that personally I would never buy, but I've never experienced it. I want to check it out. I want to see it. Because if you know me, you know I'm a fan of electric vehicles. I like the powertrain. It's a pleasure to drive. It's cheaper. It works out very well for my daily life. And this is the first time I'm taking a look at the Ford Lightning. This one's a 2023. I think it has about 28,000 miles on it. And the gentleman actually traded this in for the brand new Blazer EV. Let's pull it up front and let's take a look. Now, this has not gone through the shop yet, so it is in the exact state it was traded in. This is my first time literally sitting in one of these. I have zero experience with it, and I have zero experience to actually what they're capable of. You know, it's not something that we really got into because we, at the moment, do not have a competitor vehicle to this. We do have the Silverado EV coming out and out already in some stores as the work truck. If you've watched my videos in the past, you know I have a RST First Edition on order. That truck is being built in white. It's being built next week. So I may actually see that truck by July. And I already know, hands down, that vehicle will completely outperform this in literally every single category. But that doesn't mean I don't want to still take a look at the Ford and just see what this truck was all about. Looking around inside this truck, you wouldn't know what the powertrain was if you couldn't see the indicators on the screen, right? When you look at it, it looks like a basic Ford F-150. It even still has like an older style shifter, whereas a lot of electric cars now would be like knobs or push buttons, things of that nature. It does have a very nice size screen. You got a one-touch button to bring the camera up, which is nice. You know, it's all touch. It seems easy to use. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You have a kind of a split screen where you have a major portion of your screen here, which you can put everything on as far as radio, nav, things like that. And then you have a secondary screen here where you could actually swipe up and you can, you know, determine what you want to see on this particular screen. We do have some information on a screen here where on the left-hand side, you'll see we have a 102-mile range. It looks like the battery's less than half at the moment. Actually, it's about half. I'm looking at the one on the left. So yeah, this is 51%. It looks like it's right around half of charge. And if you look here, I just noticed before, the last 5,368 miles, they achieved about 2 miles per kilowatt hour. According to Google here, there are two different battery sizes. I don't know if this truck is the standard or the extended. I gotta do some research on that. The window sticker is not in the truck. The standard range is a 98 kilowatt hour battery. The extended is a 131. So at 2 miles per kilowatt hour, let's just say this is the 98 kilowatt hour battery, that would put you at a range of 196 miles. If it was the 131 kilowatt hour battery, that would put you at 262. Far less than the 440 that the Silverado RST will get. So way different category as far as what these two trucks are capable of. And it really just comes down to battery size, because at 2 miles per kilowatt hour, the Silverado EV would get about 400 miles of range. It's a 200 kilowatt hour battery. So it's not that far off. Like the 2 miles per kilowatt hour in this truck isn't horrible. It's just the battery really isn't big enough to do what I think it needs to do. Plus, I've seen reviews on this truck, and a lot of people say that they just took like the regular F-150 and just converted it over to an electric powertrain, whereas the Silverado EV is built from the ground up as an electric pickup, and you get that vibe in here. Like, this just feels like a regular F-150. I'm gonna go take it for a drive. I wanna see how it drives and handles, but from the outside, the way it looks, it just looks like a standard vehicle, possibly rushed to market, in my opinion. First thing I noticed when I put it in gear is it does creep forward. I'm betting this has one pedal driving. Drive modes. Yes, there it is. One pedal drive. So let's turn that on. We're a big fan of that. That'll also help you extend range and kind of maximize what you get out of the vehicle. Also, as I put it in one pedal and it comes to a complete stop, you can see my feet aren't on the pedals and I'm just sitting stationary right now on level ground. So one pedal he had turned off, I guess. I don't know if the previous owner ever drove with it on, but if he did, maybe he would have maximized and got a little bit better than that 2.0 mile per kilowatt number. With an electric vehicle, every little bit you can get definitely helps, especially if you're on a longer trip. If you're just driving around town in daily life, it doesn't really matter. You can just charge the car when you get home at night. But if you were trying to maximize how far you can get on a particular charge, you know, at that point, you want to make sure you do everything you can to maximize that. Just gonna put a plate on this and we're going for a spin. All right, let's feel this truck out, see what we think. Immediately, in just a little bit that I drove it on the lot, again, I am such a fan of the electric powertrain. And listen, this is a personal preference of mine. I like Corvettes, I've owned them in the past. I like exhaust, I like noise, I like all that. But on a daily basis, I love driving an electric car. It's quiet, it's smooth, it's quick. It's really a lot of fun to drive. And with the one pedal, and you know, you get some things like in the Chevy vehicles, you have that region on demand paddle on the wheel. You get a little bit more of a driving experience than you would even just in like a regular gas automatic car. You know, immediately as soon as you step on the throttle, you have power. You know, that's the one thing that, unless you drove an electric car, you really don't know the feel of it, you know, because the car can still be on paper slower than, let's say, a comparable gas vehicle, but they feel faster because that torque is just instant. Like as soon as you step on the throttle, the power is there. And that's what really, that's what I really love about an electric powertrain. And the one pedal, like right now, I haven't hit the brake yet coming down the end of the street and making this right-hand turn. So think about the energy you're saving and putting back into the battery and how much brakes you're saving. Every time you would normally have to step on the brake pedal in one of these vehicles, this truck, all the weight of this vehicle heating up those brakes and wearing out those pads and rotors. In this case, you don't do that. You just let go of the throttle like I did there, and I'm slowing down to a stop and I'm capturing energy in the process. Now I will say inside this truck, to me, it feels pretty cheap. It feels pretty, it is very plasticky. Even the steering wheel is just a standard plastic wheel, no leather wrap. I'm not sure, again, as far as this particular vehicle, the Lightning, what model this is, what trim it is, and if they have multiple levels of trim going up the line where you can get all those features like sunroof and leather wrapped steering wheel and heated seats. And oh, this actually has heated seats, so it does have that. But I'm just not familiar. I'm not familiar with these trucks at all. It's just something that I haven't come across in my career until now that this one was just traded in. We're gonna go a little farther here. The old test drive route that I never go on anymore. Complete stop at the light on a bit of a downhill with no foot on the brake. It really is awesome. You know, if you haven't driven one, meaning an electric vehicle, at least go drive one. You know, just feel it out and see what you think. Even if it doesn't work for you and your lifestyle and the amount that you drive and the miles you drive or whatever trips you go on, you don't have to buy one. Just go drive one for fun. I mean, it's future technology. It's stuff that's out, that's new, and it's fun. Oh, it's definitely got good power. And then you go in here, you're merging in, you want to get in the traffic fast. You can even peel out in this one. It's quick, that is fast. If you haven't driven even an F-150 Lightning, and I'm not really a fan of this truck, but I'm more impressed with the truck now driving it than I was up until the point of right now driving it. Because everything in my perception of this vehicle was stuff I heard from other people, or I seen in articles or whatever the case may be. I mean, this is actually really nice to drive. I am really getting excited now about my Silverado EV that's on the way. Hopefully it'll be here sometime in July, because I can't wait to get behind the wheel of that. That's gonna be awesome. Because that truck, like, that looks the part. It's got the glass roof, it's got the 4-wheel steering, it's got the 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. You know, it's got the big battery with the 440-mile range. That truck's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna head back to the store, and once I get there, we will take a look, just a quick walk around, take a look at it outside, inside, and see what we think. My thoughts on the exterior. Again, it looks like a basic Ford F-150. It's not, you know, anything special as far as fun to look at. You know, it's got what looks like small wheels and tires. It's low to the ground. Front grille, nothing really to be desired here. This has a real work truck type feel. Again, are there packages that have a different grille setup or maybe different design? Obviously, you don't need as much cooling in the front, so, you know, it's all just solid. But I think they could have did something a little bit better there. This does have the frunk up front with the power door. So you press twice, you can open it up. This is actually really pretty cool to have some storage here. Is there storage under this? There is, a little extra storage underneath. And then this is pretty cool, a little power bank here with outlets. So you can put stuff in here that you want to charge it while you're driving down the road. You got a button up here you can press to close. Here's our charge door, just press and open. You have your standard level 1, level 2, and then your DC fast charge. Standard size bed, aluminum bed. You can see on the far side there, we got some dents and damage. This obviously can use a bed liner, whether it be a spray-in or the plastic drop-in. You know, but otherwise, again, looking from the back, standard F-150 type look. Does it have an easy lower gate? Let's see. It does, has an easy lower gate, so that's nice. It's a heavy gate, heavy door. Nice lightning badges. You know, they dressed it up a little bit with some little emblems and things like that. But again, for the most part, like, I can understand when people look at this and they just say, eh, looks kind of blah. Like, you're really buying this for the powertrain. If you want an electric truck, that's what you're buying it for. And I got to tell you, although I would never buy this, driving it really has me souped up and ready for that Silverado EV RST that's coming in, because, you know, I'm used to driving the Bolt. I love that car as far as the powertrain, but it's not really a quick car. Like, this thing launched after I turned the video off. I kind of got onto it a little bit, and it's very impressive. Like, it's got a ton of power. Inside here we can take a look. You know, nothing that you wouldn't expect in a pickup truck. You know, standard bench style seat. You got some chargers, you got some air vents, a couple of cup holders, stadium style seating, which is going to open up your whole floor here. And then up front, we kind of took a look at it earlier. I mean, again, screens were nice. The interior seems a little plasticky and a little cheap. Although, again, to be fair, this may be a low trim of the Lightning. It may not be a higher level trim. If they offer that, they might not. I gotta do a little bit of homework on it. Oh, and yes, this does have a tow hitch on it, so you can tow with it. Although, if you're doing normal towing, you wouldn't buy this vehicle. You would buy a vehicle that's capable of towing the item that you would normally tow around. I think that's one of the objections we should put to bed, because everyone always says, oh, well, you can't tow with it, you can't tow with it. I've been selling Chevys for 18 years now. I can tell you that I would say 1 out of 500 Silverado purchasers actually tow with their vehicles. It's not as much as you think. And somebody that's towing on a regular basis generally wouldn't even look at this, you know. But if you had to hook a trailer up to it, it can be done. No one's saying it wouldn't be a pain, but it could be done.